got to remember that 2-acetyl-CoA is produced from pyruvate oxidation. 2 molecules of acetyl-CoA. But you're going to use one by one. So first, you use 1 molecule of acetyl-CoA. So you enter the Kreb cycle or citric acid cycle. So that acetyl-CoA, 2 carbon, and then acts with OAA or xyloacetate, which is 4 carbon, going to produce the first product, which is citrate. Citrate? Yeah. Citrate, 6 carbon. So this citrate will undergo isomerization process and will convert into isocitrate. Same, 6 carbon isocitrate. So these isocitrate, if you look at the isocitrate, it will be converted into alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate consists of 5 carbon. So there's going to be a reduction of number of carbon from isocitrate to alpha ketoglutarate. So that 1 carbon actually is released through the decarboxylation process, whereby carbon dioxide is produced. You look at the reaction there. So one carbon dioxide is produced. In that reaction, 1 reducing agent, which is NADH, is produced as well. That NADH is going to be used in the oxidative phosphorylation because NADH is the reducing agent or electron donor. Okay? So from alpha ketoglutarate 5 carbon, they're going to be reduced to succinyl-CoA. Succinyl-CoA consists of 4 carbon. It has 4 carbon, so there's going to be a reduction of 1 carbon as well. So this carbon eliminated through the decarboxylation. So 1 carbon dioxide produced as well as the NADH. So 1 molecule of NADH and 1 molecule of carbon dioxide are released from this conversion. So from succinyl-CoA, there are 4 carbons, and then it will be converted into succinate, 4 carbon as well. There's no reduction of the number of carbon from succinyl-CoA to succinate, still maintained. But this particular conversion is quite important because in here, there's release of ATP via substrate level phosphorylation. You have to remember that. Substrate level phosphorylation. Why? Because that's just donation of phosphate from GTP to ADP, and then you're going to produce the ATP. GTP is guanine triphosphate. It has 3 phosphates, so you're going to donate 1 phosphate to ADP. So that's a phosphorylation occurs. That phosphorylation or attachment of phosphate to ADP, that's what we call as the substrate level phosphorylation, because it's just direct donation of the phosphate to ADP. It's not complicated when you compare with the oxidative phosphorylation, because oxidative phosphorylation, it involves the electron transport chain. Means that this electron transport chain coupled with the generation of ATP. So it involves the ETC, and then you're going to produce the ATP. So that process is chemiosmosis because there's a coupled with the ETC. And you can see that there's involved redox reaction, involves the pumping of the hydrogen ion, involves the ATP synthase in order to produce the ATP. So that's oxidative. You can see the main difference between the substrate level phosphorylation and oxidative level phosphorylation. Okay, back to the Kreb cycle. We're going to have the succinate from succinyl-CoA. So succinate will be converted into fumarate. So fumarate, you look here, it says 4 carbon as well, for fumarate. But in this reaction, or in conversion, it produces another one reducing agent, which is FADH2. That's another reducing agent. So these NADH, FADH2 will go to the ETC and produce indirectly the ATP. So from fumarate, then it will be converted to malate, 4 carbon as well. But in here, we look at fumarate to malate. It is an addition of water involved. There's no production of any product from the fumarate to malate. And then from malate to OAA. So from malate to OAA, there's a production of NADH, or the reducing agent. So you can see that from 1 molecule of acetyl-CoA, it produces 3 NADH, 2 CO2, and then 1 FADH2, another one is 1 ATP. So that's why in total for Kreb cycle or citric acid cycle, because you have 2 acetyl-CoA, so the total products are 6 NADH, then 2 ATP, 2 FADH2, 4 CO2 or carbon dioxide. So this is the total number of products for citric acid cycle or Kreb cycle. Are you clear, everyone? All right. And then we have the total number